If I were a Republican, Donald Trump's destruction of the Republican Party would be something I could never forgive the guy for. He did not build a stronger conservative movement that now is going to be able to survive Trump and come back stronger or whatever. Donald Trump hollowed out one of the two major political parties of the United States. He replaced its beliefs with personal loyalty and conspiracy theories. And Donald Trump has left Republicans completely unprepared for the day that he is finally gone. Now, if this show existed before Trump, you know, if you've been following politics or this show since before Trump was president, that the Republican Party had serious, serious problems before Donald Trump. They had extremism, they had conspiracy theories, they had racial grievances, they had anti-democratic impulses. None of that just appeared out of nowhere in 2015. But what Donald Trump did is he took the absolute worst of all the forces within the Republican Party, rewarded the absolute worst people who were promoting them, and then said, this is going to be the party's identity. You either follow me into this or I will do whatever I can to ruin your political career. Now, think back. This sounds almost crazy to think about. Republicans once said they believed in free trade. That was like an important principle. And then Trump came in and he promoted and then imposed global tariffs. And for the most part, the party has gone, yeah, I mean, listen, they're good. That's why we do it, even if they can't really explain it. There was a period where they said, we oppose foreign wars. We're getting more isolationist, not the neocon wing, but some of the Republican Party. And then Trump comes in and he starts a war with Iran. And I mean, listen, I guess like most of self-described MAGA supports it. Some Republicans do, some Republicans don't. They spent years saying, we must get the Epstein files. This is the most important thing. Elites are preventing us from finding out who these horrible pedophiles are. And Trump started to resist releasing them. And some of his most loyal followers all of a sudden said, hey, you know what? You're right. The files actually don't really matter. There's nothing there. Dan Bongino said there's nothing there. And so did Kash Patel and Pam Bondi or whoever else. So the starting point is that while Republicans used to have an ideology, which I disagreed with, but they had one, MAGA has no stable ideology. It's whatever Trump is right. Whatever Trump says, that's what our ideology is. That can work, and arguably it has been working, but it only works while Trump remains the unquestioned leader. When Republicans need somebody else, that becomes a total disaster. Now, J.D. Vance, I guess apparently wants to inherit MAGA. Marco Rubio may be an alternative. Rubio has said he wouldn't challenge Vance, but who knows what will happen. None of the people right now, kind of in the ecosystem of we might try to be the next leader of MAGA, none of them have what I call Trump's weird gravitas. It is gravitas. It's weird. It's charisma, but it is weird. They don't have that. And they also don't have the personal bond that Trump built with his supporters, a bond which is insane because Trump promised he's going to help people he doesn't give a damn about. So this is a real problem for Republicans after Trump. And Trump has zero interest in solving this program, this problem that they've come into. Now, a normal party leader, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, right? Normal party members, party leaders, they want a successor that can kind of preserve the coalition that they built and keep winning. That's what a normal leader of a party would want. Trump doesn't want that. Trump wants the party to fail once he's gone. If a leader ends up succeeding Trump and succeeding, like succeeding as in replacing him and succeeding as in doing well, Trump would see that as competition for legacy. Imagine for a second that Vance or Rubio become the Republican nominee and they become president and they're more popular than Trump. They have higher approval, or maybe they even win the election by more. They get problems. They get credit for fixing problems that Donald Trump created. Trump would hate that. You think Trump wants to sit at Mar-a-Lago seeing his successor be more popular and more successful? Trump wants whoever replaces him to not do well so he can sit there and go, see, I was special. It wasn't just that the country changed. I was actually special. And so this is part of why he plays these games of oh, should I pick JD or should I pick Marco Rubio? He wants to keep the would-be successors insecure and competing for his approval. He wants to be the sun at the center of the solar system and everybody else kind of orbits around him. And look at the money. Trump has a super PAC. This is not getting attention, by the way. Trump has a super PAC sitting on $400 million. 400. They've spent about $2 to $3 million helping Republican candidates for the midterms. That is a fraction of 1% of the money that Trump controls. Republicans need help in the midterms. They're probably going to lose the House. A bunch of winnable Senate seats aren't looking so good. Trump has $400 million in super PAC cash, and he's hoarding it. He's hoarding it because, number one, he doesn't really give a damn about these people. He only cares to the extent that it's good or bad for him what happens in November. Having the money gives him leverage. Having the money gives him attention, people coming and groveling and going, please give me a little bit of the money. And Trump has also, in the midst of this, purged independent thinkers and just elevates the professional sycophants to fight back against what he sees as betrayal, meaning any compromise is betrayal. If you're a Republican trying to make the party more moderate, after Trump, you risk being denounced as rhino scum. And this is the trap that Donald Trump has kind of set for the future of the Republican Party. Now, I am not under the delusion that when Trump leaves, MAGA disappears and the Republican Party goes back to John McCain and Mitt Romney. I think that the anger is going to remain. The cruelty will stay. The conspiratorial thinking is all going to stay. But Trump won't be there to hold it together. And the movement is likely to fracture into these factions. You might get one faction that does want to go back to McCain-Romney style Republicanism. You'll get a faction that just wants to stick with what MAGA Trumpism has been. You'll get a faction, if people like Peter Thiel have influence, that will go kind of techno-libertarian isolationist. That's more the direction I think is Vance's real politics right now, when he doesn't have to just publicly defend whatever Trump does. And so what will end up happening is that in 2015, Republicans will have surrendered their party to one man's temporary power. And when he leaves, Trump doesn't give a damn that the party is likely to fracture into 3, maybe 4 different kind of contingents. What Trump will care about is, do they miss me? Do they acknowledge that I was better than JD? I was better than Marco. I was better than whoever comes next. That's what Trump cares about. And Trump would get the ego boost, not from handing off a successful party to the next Republican candidate. Trump would get an ego boost from the next Republican failing. So Trump can go, told you, I should have run again. I should have been allowed to do another term. That's what Trump's ego dictates that he wants. One of our sponsors today is the new book by George Koch called Bullies, Parasites, and Slaves. Bullies take from others to benefit themselves, and they pretend to be our only defenders as a ploy to get our support. And the instant a bully doesn't need us, we become their next victims. We need to wise up and see this. Parasites are the people hiding behind titles and offices, subsidizing their wealth by ruthlessly underpaying everybody below them, like the CEO who makes more before lunch than you make in a year. And then there's the hybrid bully parasite king who sends the poor to war, to conquer, to kill, to enrich himself and his friends. That's what this book exposes, and it really nails it. Replacing exploitation with mutual care. You can get Bullies, Parasites, and Slaves in paperback, ebook, or audio by going to bps.online or text my last name Pakman to 511 511. The link is in the description.